Hey, this is Evans at Motorcycle.com, and I am standing here at the Monte Blanco circuit in Spain's southern region of Andalusia. And I gotta tell you, I have had a most spectacular day. We started off the morning on the track and then took it to the street. The reason we're all here is because of the Ducati Streetfighter V2. Now, what is the Streetfighter V2? Well, you start with a Panigale V2, you strip it of the bodywork, you put a wide upright bar on it, you put a wider, softer, more comfortable seat on it, and you move the fags lower and a little bit forward. And that's about it in the main construction of the motorcycle. You take a super bike and you turn it into something that's a little bit more everyday utility while still delivering the performance in only the way Ducati can. The beating heart of the Streetfighter V2 is the 955cc Super Quattro engine. That engine puts out 153 horsepower and 75 pound-feet of torque. What Ducati has done is they've removed 2 teeth from the rear sprocket to give it a more reactive throttle in the real world, because this bike is designed to spend most of its time in the real world. The chassis is a monocoque frame that's made out of cast aluminum that bolts to the front of the engine. Contained within that is the airbox. The rear section is a trellis frame, and then the swing arm bolts directly to the back of the engine. For the Streetfighter, the swing arm is 6/10 of an inch longer for added stability when you're out riding it on the road. The suspension is the same on both ends. You've got a 43mm Showa big piston fork out front, and then you've got a sack shock in the rear. Holding the bike to the road are aluminum 5-spoke wheels shod with Pirelli Diablo Rosso 4s. So when you've got a package like this with the more upright riding position, it's built more for real-world utility that you can take to a track day for fun, and that's pretty much the way Ducati approached this intro. While I would prefer to have ridden it on the street first, I rode it on the track first, so I'll talk about that. This engine has racetrack roots, and you can feel it when you get on the throttle going down the front straight. Coming into the corner, one of the compromises that was made from the Panigale V2 is in the brake system. While the bulk of the system is a direct bolt-on from the Panigale, Ducati chose to fit the front brakes with less aggressive pads. And I could definitely feel that coming into the turn 1 at 240 plus kilometers per hour. I haven't done the math, so I don't know how many miles per hour that is. We'll put it up here. I really wanted a little more than that under braking. After that, the bike was just golden on the track for a rider of my caliber. The engine is super responsive, on a throttle is super smooth. You get into the electronics, and the only place where I could really feel the engine intervening was exiting the final corner and coming on the front straight when you whack the throttle wide open. And there, the street tires were sort of reaching their limits, even for someone that rides at my pace. The suspension was set up nice and taut for the track. There was not excessive chassis pitch when I came in on the brakes. Streetfighters are designed, by their essence, to be a real-world riding position wrapped around the performance that you can take to the track. Turn-in on the Streetfighter V2 is exactly what you expect. It's laser sharp. It goes exactly where I wanted to. Now, when we got to the street, that was really helpful because I was riding roads that I had never been on before, and sometimes I was surprised by a corner and it would tighten up and I could just lay it further in on its side, and the bike was super responsive, never twitched, never did anything. So it was really, really forgiving on the street and on the track. The utility of this bike is one that I think I could see as a daily rider as well as a fun weekend tool. The only gripe I would have about it would be the heat under the seat that this engine is known for. The temperature was in the upper 60s today, so it wasn't too hot, but I can see on a hot summer day it might be a little bit extreme. Other than that, I don't have many nits to pick about this bike. I changed the brake pads, and the heat from the rear cylinder, that you just got to learn to live with it. This is a super fun motorcycle. It's totally track capable, more capable on the track than I am. On the street, I could ride this for days. I mean, the roads around here, if there were a special heaven for motorcyclists, the roads would be based on the roads around here. That's how fun they are. Smooth, twisty, up and down, blind corners. It was unbelievable, and this bike did everything I could want it to do. So you're probably wondering by now when the bikes will be available. They'll be in US dealers in February of 2022 for a price of $16,995. If you want to read my full thoughts after I've had a chance to really sit down and digest what happened today, go to Motorcycle.com, read the full story, and you'll learn all about it. If you like this video, click like. If you don't, well, I'll try harder next time. Thanks a lot. Take care.